Good day, friends. Just as I have shared with you that in this channel we'll be looking at some crafts. I'll be teaching you hands-on activities, and these activities will help you in your classes together with your pupils or students in your class. Now, we'll be teaching them how to make shelves where they will be able to save some items in the classroom, and of course beautify the classroom by making wall shelves and as well as table shelves just to save some items. So journey with me as I teach you the simple different designs. So first of all, we're going to take some measurement. I'll be taking 5 centimeter, and then I rule, and I'm going to draw my line and then I cut through. And so I'm still going to take my measurement and measure 12 centimeter, another 12, another 12, into 4 different sizes. We have 3, so we need one more size, this same size. And so now that we have 4 different sizes, if you have a very thick carton, you could just use 1 for each. But since we don't have a thick carton, we'll be using 2, gluing them together to make one of this. And so I'll just go ahead to glue them together. So you can use different gums in gluing this. So this is a chemical gum. You could use a top gum to glue this. So these 2 gums are very, very effective in gluing these things together. And so you might be wondering, where can I get a chemical gum from? Those making chairs using wood, the carpenters mostly use this in order to glue woods together. So you will leave them to dry first before you glue them together. So you glue them together. Now make sure they're in the same size. If they are not, all you need to do is just to trim them so you have the same size. Now you have this. So you keep this aside and then you go for another cutting. This time around, we'll have just a measurement of the same measurement, 5 centimeter this direction and another 5 centimeter this direction. And then you draw and you cut. So you have to have 4 of this. We only have 2, so we're going to cut 2 more to make it 4. So you apply the gum on both sides. Allow it to receive some fresh air and dry a bit before you glue. You glue and attach it together to become one. So this is what you get. This is what you get. Now we have 2 equal sides. So you pick. You have 2 and you have 2. Now the next step is to attach this to this, and this is how you attach it. So you apply your glue to this, applying the glue to this end and also to the tip of this particular one, and then allow it to dry a little bit. Also, you mark towards the middle and then you apply your glue, and then also you apply the glue at the tip of the end and allow it to dry a bit before gluing. So now you have this, and then you glue, together, and also you glue them together. Now you have this. Now, some might ask, in this situation, you could decide to add nails to this just to hold it, for it to stand strong and for it to hold strong. So what do? You put in your nails, just like the way the carpenters do, and then it dries together with the glue at the same time. So we have some pieces of nails, just about 1 inch of nail. You attach it to this end, and also to this end, and one also at the middle, and then you glue. Now you have this. So you're going to attach this to this, but in this science you attach it to the opposite direction, and this is what you have. But then you have to trim so that you could make it so it will lie down very well. So for it to actually align very well, you have to trim, so you could have equal sides by trimming. So what do you do next? You apply your gum. You apply your gum before you glue. Now this is what you have. Now that you've glued it this way, what do you do also? Remember to apply your what? To put in your what? Your nails, so it could hold together. But when you use a glue gun, glue guns are stronger, and that would also serve. So like I said, you could use a top gum, you could use this chemical gum, which is very good, used by carpenters, and also you could use a glue gun, which is also very effective in holding objects together. You have this, but this is not ready yet, because you want to beautify this holder. So how do you go about beautifying this holder? You make sure you cover all the edges. You cover all these edges using a tape, so it does not show the signs that this is actually made from carton, and that will actually beautify it and make it even last longer. So you're going to use your tape Now you're using this tape for all the edges. You glue all edges. Now that you've sealed all the sides, so the next thing is to paint this to make it beautiful. You could decide to paint it with any kind of color. It could be red, it could be blue, it could be yellow. Just paint it with a color that will make it beautiful. So I will be painting this with a red color using the red paint. So you just paint it and make it look beautiful. And that's how you paint the whole. So now that you've painted, this is how beautiful it will look. You can see this is looking so beautiful. And so now that you've painted this and it is this way, all you need to do is to attach it using your glue gum to the walls of your class. Now ask every student or every pupil to make his or her own, and when all of them aligned it on the wall of their classroom, each steps on the wall, you could decide to keep flowers, pencil parks, both up, side, down, and inside, and you have these on the walls of your classroom, and it will beautify the class, and as well as it will serve as a shelf. There are different designs, different methods. You will see photos of different designs that you will be able to do and to make your class beautiful. Thank you, and God bless you. Today I'll be teaching you how to make charcoal briquettes. Now, charcoal briquettes, you could actually make it with different materials. And some of the materials used to making charcoal briquette, you could use a charcoal dust, and this is a charcoal dust, as you can see, a charcoal dust. You could use sawdust. You need your hot water starch, and the hot water starch serves as a binding agent. Now, you could substitute the hot water starch using clay powder. Clay powder could also serve because clay has that binding agent in it. It's sticky, so it could serve as a binding agent. And some other ingredient you could use in making your charcoal briquettes could be coconut shell, by grinding the shells and then using its powder. Or you could use dry leaves from neem trees and mango trees, gather them together, dry them, pound them or grind them, or also use the dust in making it. You could also use ashes. Ashes could also serve as a binding agent. But in this charcoal briquette I'll be making, I'll be using the charcoal dust, I'll be using sawdust, and I'll be using the hot water starch to serve as a binding agent to make these briquettes. Now, what can briquettes do? You see, briquettes last longer than that of the charcoals made from woods or made from trees. And also, it does not give that odor when you cook using the charcoal briquette. It does not give the odor. It does not give that smoky odor and that smoky taste in your food. And also, it's best used in warming your room, maybe during the cold season, and also best used in warming chickens. Yes, for some of you who are little chicks, sometimes you use charcoal just to keep the chicks warm. So it is better you use charcoal briquettes because it's better, it lasts longer, and it could be reused again. So quickly, I'll just go through how you could actually make the charcoal briquette. So, and I'll be showing you the measurement. Now, for a full bucket of charcoal dust, you'll be using half bucket of sawdust and then a quarter bucket of the binding agent. But since we're not using a full bucket of charcoal dust, we'll be using a quarter bucket of charcoal dust. So we'll be using quarter bucket of the sawdust, and also we'll be using the starch, which is our binding agent, to bind them together. So this is our sawdust, and I'll just apply the sawdust into it. Now, this is the sawdust. Like I said, you could decide to even grind your sawdust to be smoother than this, sieve your sawdust to be smoother than this, but this is also better. But don't allow the sawdust to have big woods in it, because it will make your briquettes broken. And then one thing again, also, you could use the coconut shell to substitute it for sawdust, and that will even last better, and you have a better briquette. Now that I have mixed the charcoal dust with the sawdust, you could see. So the next thing to do is to apply your binding agent. I have my starch, my hot water starch, so I will just apply it. So you apply, add water. So don't add too much water so it does not become watery. You're not allowed to make it watery. If it's watery, you won't have a beautiful charcoal briquette. So you turn. You could decide to even pour it on the ground and use a shovel in mixing it properly. We'll add a little bit water into it. But be careful with the quantity of water you add to your briquette. You mix it very well so that all ingredients will be properly mixed together. Now you have this. Your charcoal briquette is ready. So what do? You mold. You could decide to use what is known as an iron to press it to have different shape. There are different shape. There are machines that dry it immediately. So all you need to do is just to fold or mold your charcoal briquette to any shape you want. Make sure you press it so tight. I'll be making cycles of charcoal briquette. You can see, and then you dry. You fold, you mold. This is my briquette. Can you see? This is what I have. And then you dry them. Now when it's dried, go ahead to use your charcoal briquette, and this will last longer. And then it will, like I said, I told you already earlier on the advantages of this charcoal over the other one. And this will last longer than the normal charcoal you use in the market. And as well, you could package this and sell them. This is more expensive than normal charcoal you use in the market. Thank you for watching, and I hope to see you doing more and more charcoal briquettes and turn it as a business and even a brand for you. Thank you.